Hey, CDC's greatest hits. Hey, now available with proof of vaccination.
You been fast and strong.
You'll get all-time classics like
I got the jam. It's been too long. I'm glad to be fast. Yes, I got the juice. I took two. Tell me, Dr. Fauci, what you want me to do, because I'm fast.
Enter to win a signed copy of the album by Brian Johnson & Johnson.
I took a fast vaccine during quarantine. It was the worst damn shakes I have ever seen. I'm never
Legendary hits like
quarantine for just 2 weeks. Stay away from me for just 6 feet. CDC will tell you lies. CDC and ignore all your cries. Help me! Oh, Angus, are you alright? A palsy! You're shaking, little woman! You're shaking! Help me! Somebody call a doctor! Where's Fauci? A palsy! Dr. Fauci, hello! Help me! Hello! Dr. Fauci! A palsy! Hello! Hey!
Hey! Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hofcast.
What a cool video.
Yes, that is a great video. And this Hofcast live stream is super awesome because I haven't had a guest on a long time, and that's for certain reasons. But I'm super excited to have this guest. I found out about him through that video, actually watching a little AJ, Info Wars. And I thought this guy just gets it, man. This guy just gets it. Plus, he's hilarious, and he's got great taste in music. He rocks out. Sounds just like Brian Johnson and Johnson. But let me introduce Crumb here. How you doing, man? Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it.
What's up, Hofcast? Happy to be here, man. Love what you do. And thanks for having me. Thank you.
Great. You're not getting an echo from my speakers, are you?
I'm not. Are you? Am I getting one? You getting one?
No,
from
no.
me?
I'm just not wearing headphones right now, so I didn't want it to come through. So.
Oh, I turned my echo cancellation off in my audio because I always do that anyway whenever I'm playing stuff. Like I noticed that when you played that video really quickly, it kind of does this weird filter on it, so it doesn't really come through. You might want to play it again with that turned off because it kind of.
Turning what off?
If you go to your audio here on the StreamYard and. If you see the settings for that,
turn echo cancellation off.
Yeah, when you're playing videos, it makes it bad. So I turned mine off because my headphones are good, so I don't think it'll be a problem.
Cool. You want to rock that one again then?
Yeah, rock it again. I think it'll come through better with that thing off.
Yeah. I mean, people are still joining in. I mean, I'll watch it 5 times. I don't care, man.
You kind of have to. There's too many things, right?
Right. It's true, man. Dude, I showed this to all my friends. They loved it, man.
Awesome.
All right, let me pull it back up here.
Cool. I'm gonna mute it myself then. I'm not.
I said I'm no wizard at this, but I'm learning. I'm starting to pick it up a little bit, with all the screen sharing. I'm getting a little old for the game. Honestly,
I know what you mean, man. I can't learn any more skills or traits at this point.
All right, let's do it, man. I'm going to share it one more time here, or at least, we might share it again later if we need to, if anyone else is watching, haven't seen it and they'd like to. But yeah, we'll show it here. Is it not coming up? Oh, that's how you do it. See, I'm still learning, bud. But we're going to make it through this as a team.
We got this.
Right, I'm going to mute too, so let's watch it.
Hey, CDC's greatest hits. Now available with proof of vaccination.
You been fast and strong.
You'll get all-time classics like
I got the jam. It's been too long. I'm glad to be fast. Yes, I got the juice. I took two. Tell me, Dr. Fauci, what you want me to do, because I'm fast.
Enter to win a signed copy of the album by Brian Johnson & Johnson.
I took a fast vaccine during quarantine. It was the worst damn shakes I have ever seen. I'm never
Legendary hits like
quarantine for just 2 weeks. Stay away from me for just 6 feet. CDC
Yes, man. So let's just start out with talking about that.
Let's do it. Let's
say
do
whatever
it.
you want to say about that, man.
One thing I want to point out that it was one of the funnest things to make. Ooh, I do kind of hear echo. You know what? I'm gonna turn mine echo cancellation off because you need me to do it. All right. So there is. Ooh, I do hear a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
From me?
It might be from you, but it's not a big deal.
Let me. I probably have, you go on about it. I'm gonna grab some headphones. All right.
Headphones are key. Yeah, you might want to do that. I'll talk a little bit. What's up? Yeah. So I want to mention that at the very end during the Hell's Bells palsy part, you can't help hear my buddy Eddie in the background. You can hear him going because we were just laughing our asses off during all that. That was kind of the improv thing because all we had was Hell's Bells palsy, and then I felt like the joke kind of was a little dry. It didn't have a lot going on, so we're like, oh, well, what if we add some commentary in the middle of it? And it's just funny. You could actually hear in that clip my buddy Eddie trying not to laugh, but it's like, hey, Fauci, where's Fauci? And if you listen hard, you hear a guy going, anyways, yeah. But yeah, no, we did that video in a day. We filmed it in a day, but I got the idea. It was something I was I've just basically been trying to think all year about like effective content that isn't triggering and where like anybody could could basically like watch it and not get triggered and not, because the mind control is real. And we've seen in all of our friends, they started foaming at the mouth like, oh, it's just 2 weeks. Oh, it's just not, you're so selfish. And then you point out actual shit and they're like, oh God, this misinformation. And they're like, I'm like, what are you talking about? This is from the CDC website. If this isn't real, then what is? Like, oh, the VAERS numbers, and they get so triggered on everything. But so I'm like, well, what the fuck works? How do I get a message across to these brainwashed idiots? Like they're like, even like real sources that they believe are real. They're like, well, no, that's not real. Like we talk about the CDC saying this. Oh, wow, we got to lock down because the CDC says this. Well, what about these CDC numbers? Oh, no, those are fake. I'm like, oh, okay, well, what will get through to these people? And comedy is huge. I did a lot of research on just totalitarianism and their plans and how they've worked in the past and what has been the most effective historically. And it really comes down to either the people mocking them. That's really like been the most effective. As soon as they start like mocking it and like laughing at them, it goes away. And comedy is gold. You can't, because comedy is truth. That's why comedy is so
glad
bad.
you brought that up because I really wanted to talk to you about comedy tonight. I literally wrote it down, man. Because obviously that's hilarious. And what I wanted to ask you, man, is when did that idea hit you? Like, did it just like, oh, that shit, that's just a great genius idea. I have to do it.
On my old channel before it was taken down, I had a channel that was like my music one for years. And I started streaming around April. And, I went to this truther conference out in South Carolina and I met some people. And so I had this idea. I just thought, I just kept seeing CDC everywhere, oh, the CDC. And I'm like, that's just one letter away from ACDC. There's got to be something there. And so I started thinking, ACDC. And then the first song that came to my mind was, like, I've been told I can do a good Brian Johnson all my life. I mean, anybody that sounds like has like a voice where it just sounds like they've had life gone through the ringer 1,000 times, like a million cigarettes in the morning. Like I can do a good Beetlejuice. I can do Tom Waits. I can do Steve-O. And
Steve-O's real bad now, man. His voice, if you've heard him recently.
Oh God, I bet it's really bad like this. Yeah.
But you do a phenomenal Brian Johnson, man. For a lot of people, try it and.
What's weird is like my normal singing voice like feels more uncomfortable than when I sing like him. I can do him all day. Most people would sing like him and be like, "Oh, my voice hurts." I can do Brian Johnson all damn day. And so I was doing a stream and I had some people and I was like, I don't know, like wouldn't it be funny if it was like I got the worst damn shakes. And someone said I had a good Brian Johnson. And so I was like, all right. I was just going to do that song, like Shake Me All Night Long, but, with Bell's palsy. And
that was my favorite one. I died on the Hell's Bells palsy, man.
I know. It wrote itself. But here's the thing, though. I was just telling your audience before you hopped on that that was my least favorite. I just thought it was well, the title's clever, but it's kind of like Hell's Bells, a palsy. It would be like, all right. But when we're like, well, there's got to be more here. So my buddy Eddie was like, just free flow some random, some dialect here. And I said, I probably did it for 5 minutes, and we just cut out what worked and then made it in an order that made sense. But I was like,
so most of it was off the cuff?
Oh, 100%. It was just 5 minutes of me just going like, oh, goddamn. Oh, why are you shaking? Hey, Angus, why are you shaking? Just little things. Where's Fauci? And then we just listened to them. And we just took 6 of them and moved them around in an order where it made sense. And if you listen to that, you can actually hear because we were laughing so hard. Eddie was like, you could hear him going.
How can you not laugh at that?
I know. And if you listen to the clip, we couldn't even EQ it out. It's there. If you listen hard enough, you just hear during that part. And so we just threw that in there, and yeah, it all worked out good. And when we recorded it, we had the audio, and we had it was basically just us in front of a green screen, so it didn't look anything like it looked like we thought it would. And we gave it to this editor, and he's one of us, man. One of these people that has been looking for a reason or something to do that will help the cause. And so when he got this, he didn't know what it was at first, and then when he realized what it was, he put it's the difference between doing something for money and doing it for love. He added all this stuff, these flying vaccines and all this stuff with the Fauci mask. And I'm like, oh my God, he spent more time on that than he needed to.
As a labor of love is what
at a price. Yeah, no, I mean, he was the agreed upon was I think $250. And I'm like, I need to give you more. This is ridiculous. He made the editor, it can make a lot of things really, really stick out. So that his name is Red, and he doesn't do a lot of he doesn't do that it's not his job. He just likes to edit stuff, and it was really cool. So it's what I'm noticing is on this path, when I'm trying to make stuff, it's not about money anymore. People just want to be a part of the cause because it's more important. And I would love to make more content that, and I'm but it does cost a lot of money to have all the aspects of it. So I've been learning how to do it myself, but it's a lot of work.
When you say the cause, what do you mean by that exactly? Because I agree with you 100%, but for anyone watching, maybe you could be a little bit more clear on that. Well,
the fact that I say basically around March 2020, everybody had a path. I imagine, I look at it we were all on a boat, and everybody in their mind had a destination, I'm going to Hawaii from California. But then with March 2020, just making everything so up in the air, and you don't really know what the future looks like. All of a sudden, Hawaii blew up halfway on my journey in life. I had a plan. I actually was talking with Disney people. They were wanting to do a show with my band because we were doing really well. And we were performing all the time, selling out, and at Knott's Berry Farm and Disney and stuff. And we were doing, pre-COVID normal shit. And I recognized right away, I'm like, this nonsense is going to disrupt everybody's lifelong plans. A lot of people think if you see Hawaii blow up while you're on the boat going towards Hawaii, and then Hawaii blows up, what are we doing in the middle of the ocean? Where am I going? Where's the direction here? Where is my life's path? Where is everybody going? A lot of people were in denial. They're like, let's just keep going to Hawaii. Maybe it'll come back. And I'm like, you guys, no, it's not. I have no idea how many people are going to be alive in a year. I don't know what the world's going to look like. It's impossible to have a lifelong plan because we're not in control of the future as well as we thought we was. So by the cause. Yeah, no, by the cause, I mean, this evil force that has disrupted all of our lives the last year, like ever since March 2020. That's obvious. To that extent, like now, like I saw everything. I'm kind of a connect the dots kind of a guy. So like what I thought would happen and what has happened now is like, nothing's changed for me since beginning of like April. Like I've just constantly just been reaffirming what I believe. I hate that. I wanted to be wrong, but it's not. And so when I say the cause, it's like where people, you know, in their gut feels like there's a force that's going on in the world. There's an evil going on in the world, and it keeps winning. It's actually pretty strong right now, and it's affecting all of our lives, whether we want to ignore it or not. You know, it used to be you can go out and I could talk conspiracies and you don't really notice it, but now because everyone's wearing a mask, like they're throwing it in my face, I can't ignore it. You know,
literally.
And so yeah, you can't. You know, I liked it better when I was just the guy at a party saying, "Hey, this shit's coming," and they're like, "Yeah, sure," but go outside. Like kids are wearing masks.
I have my own opinions, but where do you think the disconnect comes from between people like us and then people who just completely just believe everything the media tells them?
I think it's different. I don't know if it's. I just got back from a rally, you know, and it's getting more and more like. I was on the street just now, like, and the amount of cars that were honking for us. I was wearing my shirt saying, you know, like this is segregation.
Right on,
yeah, I'm like identify as vaccinated, and then I was playing like the victim card because that's what I do. I'm like I'm vaccinated, and they're trying to segregate me. You tell me that I'm not vaccinated. I believe I'm vaccinated. Exactly, because yeah, that's where it works. I think it helps them is when like their ideologies have some sort of cognitive dissonance, and they just start going, and it forces them to have to think about it.
Yeah,
you know, yeah. And so, but they were like 90% of the cars were like, yeah. The people there, they weren't conspiracy. They were moms. Let me show you this.
I'll tell you, I've got some controversial bumper stickers on my car, including the one that was featured in a tweet yesterday with a skydiver that says "Arrest Fauci." But I'll tell you, I've never had anyone say anything bad about him. I've only met people from him and have people say like cool things about him and stuff, you know. So
I don't understand why the way he dishes out, like he's like, oh, we're gonna have to like he says it in a way where we don't like hate him. Like people are like, oh, well, I mean, I don't think he's likable, but like. I don't know where he gets the balls to be like, you know, we don't know yet. We might have to just never have Christmas again. And people are like, okay, well, that sounds good. Imagine if like anybody else said that. Oh, yeah, we're not going to have Christmas anymore. Like people would be, fuck this guy. But like, he's like, well, you never know. There's going to be variants. We got to keep wearing the mask. And we're like, oh, this sounds good. Like, fuck this guy. He's a horrible shill, you know?
Did you see about his movie? His Disney movie?
Oh my God! She has. I saw a Disney. I saw there was something about Disney. I didn't know that was a Disney movie. Holy cow!
It's on Disney Plus. It's like a Fauci documentary, and the Rotten Tomatoes scores are hilarious. It's got 91% critic score and a 2% audience score. 2%.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
91 for the critics. That just shows how big that disconnect and gap is between people who are paid off to promote something and people who actually watch it and think this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life, you know?
100%. I know. There was something else about that I saw recently where it showed that it's such a lie. It's so stupid. You know, I'm going to show you something here.
The plain day right there, you know?
This is, I just got back from this rally, and this is the kind of stuff that people are posting now. Can you see that? Like,
yeah.
So I just took that photo about like it's not crazy. It's not, it's families now, you know? It's,
yeah.
It's gone to the point where even people that have been V'd, they released are like, wait a minute, like this forcing thing that came out of nowhere. They didn't realize the slippery slope thing, and at least some people have the integrity to realize that they've made a mistake, maybe supporting the wrong side. Some of them are, because these are no brainers here. Like forcing people to have no body autonomy. Like this isn't this. It's not like where it used to be in like the 90s when we were like, what do we want? You know, like we want equal pay, even though we don't do nearly much work. Like things, like what? Like we used to get our panties in a bunch about stupid things, but now we're just asking for basic stuff here. Like that's no brainers, and I think people, you know, some people saw it right away and have just been like in hell just watching people slowly get it, but at least they're getting it. And you know, my last stream I did called "You're Not Alone." I'm learning more and more that.
Nice pun, by the way. But yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I really, the best way to look at it is not assume everybody is as brainwashed as we think they are. The media is doing a really good job making it seem like that.
Yes, just like numbers a lot of the time, you know, they're twisted. Yeah, that in order to make you think a certain way about it, it all causes, you know, fear mongering and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's definitely all false. I mean, there's a lot of. I think the number of people who have had the jab that they're saying in this country isn't even as high as they're saying, honestly. I mean,
I don't
truly
think so.
believe
They
that.
say it's like 56%. And if it was, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I highly doubt it. Like, it's really, I think it's 56% in like cities, in blue state cities. But there's no way 56% of Arkansas is. No way. Or 56% of anywhere of Ohio.
Yeah.
You know, I doubt it. I don't think anybody. It's just so stupid.
Ohio's a very red state besides the center where I live, actually. So.
I've heard that, yeah. But at least you're a red state, man.
Yeah.
Have you always been on the conservative side of politics?
No. If I'll talk quickly about this because I'd rather ask you about things. But
sure.
No, man, I kind of like. I'm kind of like going against everything that I was brought up with. Really, like I don't come from a super left family, but they are diehards. They're not gonna go the other way at all. You know what I mean? And like 4 years ago, I just started seeing like they kept telling us stuff in the media about all this stuff about Russia and whatnot and all these new cases and everything. And like I just started seeing this isn't adding up. This just seems like I don't know. And it seems false. It seems fake. And I'll tell you the moment that I truly just completely blew my mind, man. Do you remember the Covington kid with the MAGA hat with the Indian banging the drum?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I remember that.
Now, that video, they tried to play it out like this kid who was just waiting on his bus was like some kind of terrible person to this Native American. And you see the full like hour clip, and this guy is harassing these kids, and there's like a whole Hebrew black nationalist group in the background yelling the N-word and all this stuff. And if these kids are just standing there trying their best not to react to it. And that's what blew my mind, is how they tried to demonize this kid when
and he was just
did
looking
the
at
only thing
him.
he could. Yeah. And so that's what really got me.
You know what really got me after that was when I realized that guy is a hired actor, and I've seen other stuff he does.
Yeah,
like
his name's Nathaniel Phillips. Yeah.
And it was like, of course. I started seeing how pathetic the left is.
He's got a more American name than I do. But he's on
IMDb. You can see the stuff he's done. He's like he's known as being that's like his role is upset Native protester.
If you want to get real deep, it was a psyop probably.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. Yeah. Actually, that's the thing. I jumped ship when this whole thing has like kind of started in the beginning of Trump's being let in, because I started watching the left just started going insane then and get Trump deranged syndrome. And I started seeing like, wow, like I also think Trump was part of that. I think that was by design. So I'm not saying that yay pro Trump. I think he played his role really well, and he was able to dish out things and say things on the media that just lobbed it up for the media to spin. And
it's like Kanye West. You might not always agree or whatever, but they say now like any media is good media, even bad press or whatever. And so a lot of people rely on that. And I don't agree with everything Trump says or does. Trust me on that. But I think he opened up a lot of people's eyes on a lot of things. You know what I mean? Really flipped the system in a lot of ways. So.
He did, but I also think that what he did was, I don't know, because he said so much truth, but he did it in a way that like would really get at liberals. Like they've already been conditioned to hate every way that he talks, so like he would say truth, but it like made one side like grow to hate truth because it came from the mouth of a guy like Trump. So they became more and more just they became more and more insane because they're like, well, he's saying truth, but I don't like the way you're saying it, and so it must not be true. And just watching everybody just vote away our rights and pick Biden based off of hate for Trump, not love for Biden. Nobody voted for Biden because they love him. They voted for him because they hated Trump. Yeah. So they got the left, who's supposed to be like the loving people, to completely be manipulated and do all their everything based off of hate. And just watching that happen, like, it's just seeing that happen was just really hard. I was like, I couldn't believe seeing my liberal family. I'm probably similar to you. I'm in California. My dad, my brother, like, they still think that like I'm selfish if I don't get V'd.
Yep, same here, man. I've already had many discussions.
Yeah, and at this point, like it's almost impossible to think that they can ever come back, and which is literally why I keep trying to come up with ideas that would. Like, I didn't get one triggered liberal anywhere on the internet for that AC/DC thing. Even the ones that were like, I'm a liberal and I think this is funny. I couldn't believe.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were talking earlier, the comedy aspect of it pulls people together. You know, it really does. And they're trying to use comedy as a division tool nowadays. You know, you can't say certain things. Look at Dave Chappelle right now under fire. You know, for making.
But that's
jokes.
the best thing about comedy is that it's so involuntary to laugh. Like, if somebody thinks something is funny, I don't get to decide what I think is funny. I'm going to laugh at what is and what isn't. I can maybe fake cry or fake get offended, but nobody can get fake. Nobody can. Like, they know in their heart. So, like, if it's actually making somebody laugh, like, that comedy is truth. And if somebody can't help laugh at something that they think that they shouldn't, but they're like holding it back, like, it forces them to like kind of look inside themselves and realize, well, why would I think that's funny? If I really think it was fucked up, I wouldn't have laughed, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you joke about people and you joke about, you can't exclude anyone. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally what they're trying to do, though. As soon as you start excluding people, that's what makes it more offensive to me than anything. Because it's like, oh, well, we got to coddle these people because they can't take a joke. You know what I mean? And some of them can't. You know, they think it's all funny. Like, as Bill Burr has said, they think it's hilarious until the joke's about them. And some people can take a joke, some people can't, you know. And other people have said, you know, like in the black community, I've heard comedians say that, like, you know, or gay people in the crowd, you know, if they go to a stand-up show, they thank the artist or the comedian afterwards, and they say, thanks for joking with me, man. I really appreciate that. You know, I feel like I was included. Like, I can have a laugh. You know, I have a sense of humor. So there's two different kinds of people. People can take a joke. People can't, I guess. You know,
well, I mean, people that can't take a joke, they should stop looking at comedy and getting offended. I've never been offended by a joke. I mean, one of my favorite things are like the most offensive joke, like for that reason, like ones that are just so offensive that, like, because of that is funny. Like, I you know, like I say, I had that one joke, hope I don't offend anybody, but, you know, can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, like, you may say I'm a beaner, but I'm not the only one. You know, and so,
gotcha.
Yeah.
The pun.
You got the fun there, yeah. Little things like that are like, oh, that's so bad. Like, is it bad? We live in a world of, like, you know, Blazing Saddles was cool. Like, you can't even get away with shit anymore. But I think comedy kind of makes a mockery of all and makes us realize how stupid it is that we get our panties in a bunch over these little tiny things. Like, if you can laugh at it, all of a sudden we don't really care. Like laughter is a high vibrate. You got love, and then you got laughter, and everything below that is just is an easier trap to get stuck into, because that's when the lower your vibration, the easier manipulatable I think people are. And if you stay at love and you stay at comedy, you could do a lot. You could be a lot more effective in the truth community, I think, than just sitting there going like, "Oh, they're making the frogs gay. They're making the frogs gay." You know, I'm trying to find another angle where it could be more effective, I guess.
And speaking of frequencies, you know, as Sam Tripoli says from, you know, Tinfoil Hat podcast, he says he's always saying they're trying to steal our loosh, you know, our good vibes, our good
our logos, our all that stuff. It is. They feed off of our energy. I don't know if you ever known any narcissist or ever dated one. I did once, and it was weird. It was like a vampire that would it was like pure evil. And once it was more exposed, I couldn't believe it exists. And
yeah, my ex-fiance.
Oh yeah.
That's how I can put it. Oh, we're not going to go into any of that. I'm
Well,
leaving it right there,
shit,
bud.
Yeah. Mine was
Leaving
like
that
3
right
months.
there, bud. Yeah.
Oh shit, man. How old are you, by the way? Mind if I ask you?
I'm in my 30s.
Nice, me too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Probably similar age.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. All right.
I'll tell you after the stream.
Okay. Yeah. No worries. All right.
Actually, I'll tell you right now. I'm the highest degree of Freemason. If I was an age of Freemason.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
33.
Oh, I get it. I get it. I'm highest degree of +5. So you know.
You look good for your age, just like I do, man.
Well, I know how to use these cameras and stuff, and understand a little contrast versus saturation on my webcam.
Well, you kind of got like a Chris Cornell vibe going. He's my favorite singer of all time. So yeah.
Oh man, he's one of my favorites too. Thanks.
Can you do a Chris Cornell?
He's really hard. He's one of the few I can't. I mean, like when I did, if I was gonna do like Temple of the Dog, I would choose Eddie Vedder as like the, you know, like, let's see, what would he be? What would be a good Cornell? And when he goes to those high ranges, I could do like a low, like Black Hole Sun, but Black Hole Sun. Oh, not really.
Still pretty good, man.
It's gonna just always sound like AC/DC, I think. Yeah, I don't know.
I do it like Eddie Vedder. I love doing like the worst Eddie Vedder impression, you know.
Oh yeah.
Even Blur Hill, black
Oh, I used to play a game on my live stream. Yeah, no, I used to play a game called Does It Even Flow, and then take another song and do it in even flow's way. Like if it was like let's pick any song, pick a song.
Go ahead.
Well, if I was like,
I didn't have one.
In the jungle, in the mighty jungle, like in down mighty jungle, and to see if it works, and we play a game like Does It Even Flow, and some would work and some didn't. You know, like does it work in that? Because it's such a ridiculous melody. It's like, where did he come up with that? But it works, you know. And man, so you're a '90s guy like myself. You grew up with the alternative music.
Yeah, well, also my brother, a lot of my musical influence comes from my brother because he's 9 years older than I am, and so like I grew up with all his music that he was listening to.
Sure.
Stuff. Huge Metallica fan. Not me. I like Metallica, but he was the huge Metallica fan. You know, he like got me into them, like Korn, Alice in Chains, you know, stuff like that, you know, and obviously Soundgarden. He bought me my first Soundgarden CD for my birthday one year, so it was super unknown. And I still have it. I've listened to the shit out of that CD, man. Surprised it still plays.
It's a classic. That song, The Day I Tried to Live, one of my favorites. Oh, you know what? My lovely lady left a drink at the door. She didn't want to, like, let me just grab this real quick. I'll be right back.
Absolutely. So there is a link in the description here. Also, I want to thank anyone who's joined and watched in, who's watching right now. Feel free to comment if you're watching. Leave us some comments, questions. We'll discuss. And I appreciate you here. But there is a link in the description for Crumb's channel as well if you'd like to check that out. Hopefully after the stream, so you'd watch this and then do that. But it's there and it'll stay there. And this stream will also go up on BitChute, which there's a link for that in the description as well, in case it gets taken down from here. Hopefully it doesn't, though. Hopefully
I doubt it.
Who knows? You can, you know, YouTube, they move the goalposts every day.
They sure do. You know, I like I said, and I don't want to get too into it, but when I remember that a few weeks ago when I did a show, and Tim Truth, we talked to him a little bit afterwards. He has that channel, and he was watching, and because I mirrored one of his videos back in May. Oh my God, I got on this radar because it was just exposing stuff. I guess that's all I could say. But like, it's incredible how, if they don't want something to get out there, oh my God, I've seen them panic on issues they had, and it didn't even get like nobody really knows this. I will say nobody knows what I'm about to say, because we keep thinking, oh yeah, they're suppressing the truth. But when you stumble across something that really fucks up their narrative, oh my God, like it's insane how much you should start seeing their damage control. Like, it's way worse than you think. Like right now we're like, oh yeah, I get a little shadow ban, I get this, yeah, but you brought on a subject that is destroying their narrative, or that they weren't like ready for. They will act like a panicked narcissist.
Well, I see that happen on a larger scale too right now. I think they're getting desperate here with all the fast moving action that's going on in literally everything, man. It just seems like they're just trying to move so fast towards in my opinion, towards some sort of goal.
Well, they better do it fast. They'd have to do it fast. How long do they think they were going to be okay with this? They better do it now. I mean, like, to be honest,
that's why they're doing all these lottos for the jab and free donuts and hamburgers and all this stuff.
If they were going to make it mandatory, why do they need to butter us up for it before anyway? Like,
exactly. They're losing their patience with us.
Why do they waste our time with 9 months of only that on the news if they were going to be like, all right, now you have to? Well, shit, my dad's been watching just vaccine 24/7 on the news. Like, couldn't they have talked about any other news?
And
no.
Also, if it was honest, just to be honest with you here, if it was that deadly, I'd be running straight for one of these. But they have to convince me with a free side of fries? Come on.
Well, it's up to you. Yeah, that's the thing. From the day
lotto ticket?
From the start of this thing, like, I honestly thought, like, if there were zombies, if everybody was turning into a zombie, right? And I'd still be like, well, I'm going to choose whether or not to wear a mask or do any of this nonsense myself. I don't need somebody. Like, the threat will be so obvious that you don't need to convince anybody. And they're making this claim that this threat is so bad. Well, I want to see some dead bodies in the street. I want to have to drive over 3 bodies at least.
Shouldn't all the homeless people be dying out right now?
I know. Right? No, like, as soon as, like, dead bodies become speed bumps, then maybe I'll think about, maybe I should be safe. But until then, no, it's not affecting my life. And I'm not. And if I'm killing people, then they need to die. That's fine. Like, I'm not gonna. This whole, like, narrative where it's like they're trying to make you feel selfish, it won't work on me. It doesn't work on me at all.
First comment, and this is actually from a coworker of mine.
Oh, what up, Sean?
And me and him talk a little bit every day in passing about certain things. We're very, very much all of us on the same level, and I always love his take on everything because it's a very straightforward F that attitude, and he's just like, yeah, just because they're stupid, you know. I just, you know, they don't know any better, you know.
Unfortunately, it's
he
true.
actually just texted me too.
Unfortunately, it's kind of true. Like, they I don't know if they're stupid. They're just willfully ignorant, and they just haven't. It takes time to kind of realize how deceived we've been. You know, like I've gone down as far down the rabbit hole as I think I've ever seen. That's possible. Now, and that is pretty far. And I won't go into too much detail on how far that is, but when you start to realize certain things, like, you start to feel really bad for humanity because you're like, oh my God, we've been lied to about certain, like, basic givens that we always just assumed were real. Like, it's so degrading to humanity when you start pointing out things and seeing how people will, like, literally fight for what is completely insanely wrong. And I don't want to get basically I go all the way to, like, just the cosmology of what our reality is a provable lie, in my opinion. But what I find fascinating is just how much people will defend things and listen to people that they don't know who are proven liars, but still think that their neighbor is the one that's the liar. Like the people that you you know, and it's a weird sort of, like, Stockholm syndrome-y. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's really
also, I want to mention real quick, Shane texted me. His name's actually Shane, not Sean. He said he doesn't know why it came up. Sean, no, it's not your fault. It's what it says.
Yeah.
I just thought he was trying to hide his identity, so I didn't want to say his real name. So, but no, sorry.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But well, thanks for watching, man. Shane. Join in. Say anything you want, man. what do you think? Is there going to be a breaking point? Like, what is going to be the breaking point of all this? Because something's got to give eventually, right? Like, there's got to be just.
I've been saying that
am I
for
dreaming?
a long time. The breaking point will be, well, yeah, I don't know. Well, here's I have like 3 different theories, I guess. I have like the Hollywood ending that I want. I have like the German like shitty ending that nobody wants, and then like the one in the middle. German movies are known for having like a not happy ending. Like it's kind of, at least they're horror movies. Like they're like, oh, like,
and they're history movies.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna end. Is I think a lot of the people that got V'd are going to change, to be honest. And I think once that happens, the amount of people who didn't, we lose a lot of people that could have been on our side. Which will make us have, you know, I think the whole point of all this is to wean people out based off of how willing they are to fill their brains up with knowledge, and the easiest ones are just kind of knocking off, and then they're gonna deal with us at the end. That's what
Are you familiar with the Georgia Guidestones?
Very familiar, yeah.
Yeah, they'd say they want to get us down to like
500 million.
Yeah, 500 million. Yeah.
That's why I say, like, oh, when people are like, why would they lie? It's not like it's written in stone. I mean, it's just like it's written in stone. I mean, this is like, it's not a conspiracy. Like, it's written in stone. I know, but
I'm gonna try to bring those up real quick for anyone who may not be familiar with these.
Yeah, bring it.
Some people think that they were made by Ted Turner.
Well, Ted Turner does publicly talk about that with I know with We Are Change. Lou, I can't think of his name, but like
Elizondo?
Yeah, Lou Gajewski or Lou Kazeki. Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, look at that. Maintain humanity under 500 billion.
I don't know how that's
perpetual balance with nature.
And look at that grappling bullshit at the end of that. Like, oh, is that how it works with nature?
Someone defaced that recently, by the way. So hell yeah on that. Whoever did that, cheers to you.
Wow. I mean, they are. I know it's super guarded, and there are cameras on there that are making sure that it's safe, or it's guarded there. They have. I mean, there's one hole in there that shows Polaris that never moves. The middle star there that literally never moves. And
that's so insane to me, man.
Yeah,
that is insane. Once you start learning little things like that, man, or like you never see like how the moon rotates exactly with one face of it and nothing else like that. And
you never see 1 degree more. Yeah,
and that's insanity. And the fact that an eclipse can happen because the sun and the moon line up exactly. What are the odds of that?
Trillions
what are the odds, man? What are the odds? You gotta be kidding me.
I know, to a razor like machine cut perfect circle in the sky. They say that the moon is exactly 400 times smaller than the sun and exactly 400 times closer.
Away. Yeah, exactly.
The odds of that are literally 1 in a trillionth of a trillionth of a trillionth. It's so stupid. And if you, I'm. This is how I got to where I'm at. Like, if you want to talk about some of that stuff and really explain your mind, like, I'm pretty knowledgeable in. I mean, I know the geocentric model and the heliocentric, around the sun, or everything revolves around us. That model. I'm very familiar with all this stuff because I tried to debunk it and I couldn't. And
I've been down that rabbit hole.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay.
We talked about it a little bit the other night, but
we did. Yeah. I know. It's like you talk about, you're a fan of Owen Benjamin, and when he started going through that, it was the best time.
Watched all of his videos. If you look up Owen Benjamin, people, just watch some of those videos. It's pretty entertaining and educational. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take a quick comment by Shane here again. He said, just saw they don't want people over the age of 30 to take one of the vaccines now because it's making people's heart get inflamed and have problems. Shocker. Yeah. And that's sarcasm, obviously. I can hear this in his voice. Because talk to him about this stuff every day.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's funny. Like, I know people that have had myocarditis now. Like, I know people that are having experience. I don't know anybody who's had COVID issues. No one. I've done. I know
We haven't had Shane, we haven't had a single COVID case at work in like months, right? Like we used to get them. It seemed like every other week, someone's like, they got the case, you know, of the deal. We haven't seen it in months now, and they're still enforcing, you know, the masks and everything. And
that's how it works. If you notice that, like, I don't even think that like the flu and the cold are something that are contagious. I don't think it's contagious at all. I think it's like a cycle. I think by saying somebody gave me a cold is the same thing as saying like, oh, like like a girl moving in with a girl and she gets her period. Oh, then that girl gave her the period. No, it doesn't work. Like we have cycles of you know, detoxifying, and nobody in the summer ever gets sick. If you look on the records and you think about your life, no one ever gets sick in the summer. That's not part of our thing. You don't just give things to people. These viruses they're developed inside of us as detoxifying agents. And so when you say, yeah, in the last 3 months you haven't had any, of course not, because it was been summer. Nobody gets sick in the summer except if you've been V'd, and everybody that's been V'd, they're getting sick in August. And I couldn't believe all my friends were getting sick in August because no one ever does. We don't realize it, but if you look back and think about when you were sick all your life, it'll always be during the winter time. You've never gotten, no one gets sick in the summer. It doesn't work like that. And if I believe I actually,
go ahead, man.
No, if it's contagious, it wouldn't have anything to do with seasonal things. You know, it's like
exactly. That wouldn't be correlative to it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I truly believe I had it in December of 2019 when it supposedly hit before they told us about it, and I was sick for like a week, man. I was still going to work. I felt like I was dying. I probably spread it all over, man. I didn't even know what it was. No one knew what it was. You know what I mean?
It wasn't COVID, because they say the first COVID was like in January from some guy in Australia. Well, I mean, it was the flu. It was called the flu. We get the flu. That's all it was. It was the flu.
You
the
go.
flu
okay,
sucks.
I agree with that too.
We all forgot, like, the flu sucks. Remember what the flu was like? It sucks. And now people are like, oh my God, I had COVID. It was so bad. It was the flu. That's all it was. And if you look on the CDC numbers, the flu. Oh, shit. I probably shouldn't say this stuff.
We're already there. Go ahead.
I know. But if you look at, like, there are no flu deaths. It used to be 80,000 a year on average. That was the average. You look on the CDC website, they're gone.
Also, the death toll last year was no higher than it was any other year previously.
It will be this year, though.
Yes, it will be this year. Yes, you're right on that. Yep.
Because of us selfish unvaxxers. That's why.
Yes, it's because of us making the delta, making that delta in our bodies,
I know, dude. I told my dad, I live with my dad, I moved in with her when he got cancer a few years back. And I just kind of it's nice. I like living with family, and we have a good thing. And then I told him like a year ago, I said, this isn't going to go away. And we'll make a bet. And he said, oh no, by World Series. Well, yeah, he said, how about, I said, name a time you think it's going to go back to normal. And he said like spring. And I said, okay, let's do fall. I promise you by fall, this nonsense won't end. He's like, oh, there's no way. And I'm like, I guarantee it will. And I will bet you $100. And we said, and I said, they're going to come up with a reason. I'm not going to say there's going to be a reason why you're going to think that we need to do all this. They're going to tell you something. And he's like, no, it's impossible. They would never. And now I'm like, I bring it up to him and he's like, well, yeah, but that's because of the variants. I didn't know there was going to be variants. I'm like, I knew there was going to be something. Of course they're going to tell you something,
Because the whole thing, my whole idea of this is the jab doesn't work. So, and they intended it that way, in my humble opinion, no doctor, nothing is speculation. They intended it that way just to keep the division going. Because I believe that's what it's all about, truly, is just division.
There's a lot of things. I don't know what it's specifically about, but it's basically about the destruction.
Well, you're not all about division, but it's a big part of it. This is checking a lot of boxes off for those who have a lot of money in the world. I want to take this question real quick from Shane.
Yeah.
I think it's a good one. Would you two ever consider taking the pill form of the vaccine they're trying to approve? Not real sure about that either.
Here's the thing about how vaccines work. Okay, so a pill would have to go through a completely different system. There's a reason why they want us to they want it in vaccines because, say for example, if you got bit by a snake that was poisonous, you can die in 30 seconds. because it's going into a part of your body that has zero defense mechanisms, whereas our digestive system has plenty. A pill could not last longer than like how it courses out through your body. They want it
your digestive system. Yeah, that's why that you're making the point here, because the pill you're supposed to take twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're saying.
Keep doing it. So I mean, sure, I would take a pill once. I love my immune system, and I mean, I honestly wouldn't, because I know it's nonsense. But the reason, like, if I drank snake venom, and put it through my digestive system, I wouldn't die. I would probably barely feel any effects, because that has had a whole lifetime of learning and understanding how to defend against foreign things. What a vaccine does is do exactly what snake bites do. It gets into a system that has never had any foreign bodies into it. They're not prepared for shit besides what they're used to. And when you get that in there, shit starts going down, and it never leaves your body ever. Every flu shot, every booster we've ever taken since the day we were kids, the same amount is circulating inside of us to this day. There's nowhere for it to go. So the pill thing, sure, that'd be nicer. It's not very. I mean, I don't think it would work. You know, but the idea,
I think it's just them trying to make more money, because it's not going to work just like the jab.
Well, I mean, forcing people to take pills. I mean, is that what kind of world we want to live in? Take your pills. I mean, like, we've seen Black Mirrors. Yeah. You know, we know how Black Mirror ends up. Like, do we think it's fun to watch? I know it's all predictive programming, but
I'll be honest with you. I was in a really bad spot one time, like emotionally, and I went over to a buddy's place, and he watched like the first episode of Black Mirror. And I was in a really like dark place in my head.
The pig fucker one?
Yeah, and I watched that. God. I never watched another one after that. I've heard it's a good show, but I was like, after that, I'm like, I just can't do no more, man. Like,
well, they were going to release a new season. I remember like a year ago, and they said, I don't know, the world's kind of fucked up. I think we think it'd be kind of messed up to release this, and they didn't. I don't know if they ever ended up doing it, but I thought it was a good call. I thought it would be fucked up to be like, all right, enjoy this. Even though they're coming out with all these movies that are like lockdown movies, like
I love how you mentioned predictive programming. That's a term that I'm really into right now, or just like the whole thing and it's been happening for longer than we've been knowing with a lot of things. And I think that's been going on for years and years. Even back to 9/11 and stuff like that. When you had like all the movies right beforehand, we really I can't think of the example right off the top of my head, but there were certain movies that came out like months before then, and like The Matrix, for example, on Neo's ID, his birthday, September 11th, and it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just like not just that, but like everything from that and The Simpsons, or anything like that.
That New York episode is insane. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in The Simpsons. It's there. The ODD. I don't know if you're familiar with that guy. He does ODD TV. He did he showed every single breakdown. There are so many video games, so many things are predictive programming for 9/11 that it just starts going down the list. After like 5 minutes, you're like, this is not a coincidence. There's so many. There's like album covers with Twin Towers being blown up.
Like the Michael Jackson album cover where he's dancing at like his point to 9/11.
Yeah. It's some of them are a stretch. Some aren't. It's crazy, man. That was the biggest one. We all needed 9/11 to get to where we're at now, because before 9/11, nobody questioned shit, and it wasn't even. And then
also we're here now because of 9/11 too. Mm-hmm. It was the start, in my opinion, of all this. I think it really started like the Patriot Act and everything like that. Just the securities at airports and everything. I think it was the first step, and to even say that George H.W. Bush, the first one, was talking about the NWO, the New World Order, and his son becomes president later, and then this huge mass ritual, if you'd like to call it that, happens that strikes fear and changes the entire world forever. Nothing adds up on it. But the fact, in my opinion, the craziest thing, man, is not just anyone can be president. And the fact that you got a father and a son being president, it completely shows, in my opinion, just how the lines, it's not about running for president. It's about who you know. It's about being in that, as George Carlin says, it's a big club and we ain't in it, you know?
We ain't in it, yeah. So, who picks where do the vice presidents come from? That's kind of where I feel like there's something going on, because all of a sudden,
Kamala 1% Harris, you know,
all of a sudden, we're all like, yeah, president. And then like some random person we don't know comes along and like, oh, cool, vice president. But vice presidents usually become presidents after they've gained some public trust, you know, like Johnson did with with Kennedy. Like, where's the hell did that guy come from? Did Kennedy really pick that piece of shit to be his vice president? No, like he was told, pick this guy unless you want, you know, and because of that, like he was able to, you know, destroy everything after he died. Like he had the power to. It's just weird. Like, what is the vice president? What the fuck is the vice president doing? Like
it's a backup, I think, you know. Like,
I know that is true. It's supposed to be a backup, but it doesn't seem like it's picked by the person running for president. Like it's always picked.
Absolutely not. Do you remember how many times Kamala was hating on Joe during debates back when they were both running against each other in their own parties? Like she was calling him a racist and all this stuff. I really don't think they like each other at all. Like at all, you know. And nobody likes either of them anyway. So
I don't even think
sense.
Joe Biden is real. I think at this point, like. I don't know.
Oh, the old earlobe conspiracy.
You saw that too? Oh my god! And the one like around his neck, like it's and all the green screen stuff. Like I did a video not long ago. Like there's something going on there. Something I don't know what it is, but I could spot green screen shit. I mean,
I know which one you're talking about, where they had the microphones up there. There's been a few of them actually. There's one that he did when he first got elected, and he was supposed to be, as I've already done a video of his staged shot, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Stage shot.
You didn't see his booster?
Oh yeah, that whole thing.
And it was on a stage, you know.
And but you know, it's because it's too hard to do it there. Like,
but there, like when he first got elected, though, I was wanting to talk about this one where he was obviously in front of a green screen in the White House, and it was obvious as soon as you saw the camera switch angles on him. It was a very slight angle, but the entire room changed, and the shadows didn't match up with the lighting or nothing.
Yeah. As soon as you start seeing those things, you know, as soon as you start seeing like a little bit of things off, we're very perceptive. Like wait a minute, like it doesn't take much to be like, okay, so like I could. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys. I could literally have. I'm gonna have some fun here. If you don't mind.
This is true, Shane. Go ahead.
No, I mean, you can literally. I did one where God, it's hard to find online now. I did an episode called "All the World Is Green." I think that was on my old channel, and I'm gonna see if I can find this. Hold on, this is pretty good. Go ahead and keep talking though. I want to find this.
I mean, Shane said Joe wanted Hillary as vice president, which
oh man, really?
I'm surprised that didn't happen. You know, I'm actually surprised that didn't happen.
I mean, can I play a little music video before I figured out AC/DC? I want to play something for you guys. It's like me doing it.
Go ahead, man.
Is this cool? Okay, I'll
make your screen to full screen, and then you play it on yours. Is that work?
Mute yours, so just in case. All right, here we go. And wait 1 second. Let me do a display capture. Okay. And
fell into the ocean, and you became my wife. Resting all against the sea to have a better life. Maria, you're a wild blue sky, and men do foolish things. They turn kings into beggars, and beggars into kings.
The negative.
Pretend that you owe me nothing, and all the world is green. We We can bring back the old days again. Now all the world is green. Face forgives the mirror. The worm forgives the plow. Question fades the answer. You forgive me somehow. Maybe when our story's over, we go where it's always spring. The band is playing our song again. All the world is green.
What's the next?
Return, you owe me nothing. And all the world is green. We can bring back the old days again. Now all the world is green.
A number of Ukrainian naval vessels.
This is so.
Pretend that you owe me nothing, and all the world is green. We can bring back the old days again. Now all the world is green.
All right. Oh yeah.
That was cool, man.
Was that cool or what?
Yeah.
Did that work?
I've seen a lot of that footage before. I'm glad that it's all in a compilation, especially that one of the astronaut. Yeah, I remember seeing that and being like, what the fuck?
Oh,
Did you ever see the one of the Jeff Bezos rocket?
Yes.
Where like the actual like processing on the CGI flips for a second, the logos flip around it, and then they come back kind of, and then
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh my God.
it's crazy, man.
Have you? There's some stuff that it's insane. When I started looking at the ISS and it's so fake. And when that's the thing is like I looked into this fake stuff before, and so I kind of became a little I don't know what it is, but like unless somebody's gone all the way down the rabbit hole, I feel like it's really hard to talk to people because they'll if they still believe some of this bullshit, it's really hard to convince them of the grand deception, and there's really no bigger deception than us believing that the world is spinning in space. It's literally like it's the biggest lie, and
the world's not the same shape they say.
There's no evidence that there's a curve. Yeah, there's no evidence. So what they've done is they've convinced us that there is nothing more to explore, and that we are insignificant on this spinning rock in the middle of this we're a dusty ball spinning through space. And they're actually like at first you think like why would they lie about that, but like it does a big thing on our psychology. It makes us really realize that like wait a minute, we are the center. Like there is a reason why the stars circle above us and Polaris never moves, and we really are it. Like there is no like stars are just lights in the sky. They're not bigger than us. The sun is small and local, and so is the moon, and it's beautiful, and that's why we see it like that. Like they're hiding God, and when you hide God, you hide the highest authority that people have now is the state, because I believe in a creator, so all this nonsense doesn't work on me. And that's how communism works, is by taking away religions. So by default, the highest authority in their mind becomes the state, and so they'll believe any nonsense.
That's it, man. Dude, you just stated that better than I've ever heard it. Honestly,
thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah, that was completely, for anyone who's not aware of what's happening, that was beautifully said.
Thank you,
and
man.
Yeah, that's completely true. It doesn't necessarily. You can believe in whatever higher power you want. I recommend having a personal relationship with that higher power.
I agree. I'm not religious either.
Yeah, and same. But
Cool.
I do talk to someone, and taking that away from you, and once you're in there, trust me, like it's not, you know, craziness. Like it's real, and when you do take that from someone and you start putting statues of Satan or Baphomet up in places, and then every song's about stuff, sins and whatnot, and I'm not, we're all sinners obviously, but it just they promote that idea and they want to take you away from that, as we said earlier, the higher frequency, man. And I think that's what it boils down to, and they're getting real desperate right now.
Well, the people that I know that are still holding on to
cuties on Netflix.
Oh my god, I know. But everybody I know, when I look on my Facebook on who's still straggling on, who are the ones that are still calling everybody selfish and stupid morons for not just going along with this narrative, they're all atheists, they're all liberals. Now it's like the ones that were like 50 and never had kids or never got married. They're the ones that are like, oh, this world needs to work. I'm not saying it's like that's bad. I'm just noticing it's like the ones that have been highly affected by the nonsense are the ones that are like melting, and the things that are just like inherent, like relationships.
They let the fear get to them, man. That's what happens.
Really
they let the fear get to them.
I just don't understand how they're so arrogantly wrong, and they're okay with it. Like, and the more that they do that, they're more on the public record showing them being awful. Like, I'm like, stop doing this. You're gonna regret this. Like, you're gonna go down in history. It's like here's a record of my grandpa like killing a Jew during being a Nazi. Like, I'm like, you don't want to do it. Stop doing that, grandpa. That makes me look bad. Like, so like so it's like, why are they doubling down on this nonsense? And they're doing it. And
in my opinion, everything is an inversion, man. I feel like truly that everything is an inversion.
It's so true.
What it really is,
It is an inversion. That's by design. Like, that's why the whole upside down on Stranger Things is introduced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. Love that show, by the way.
I love it
really
too. I do. I'm a big fan.
Second season, not so much, but
yeah. No,
love that first season. Yeah.
First season's amazing. And also
MK
11 is a flat earther, by the way.
Millie Bobby Brown?
Mm-hmm. She can't.
Did not know that.
It's very hidden on the internet, but she did a Instagram story live thing, and she was just like, "What the fuck?" I looked into this, like, it's crazy. Like, it's pretty cool video. She's smart. She gets it. A lot of kids get it, but
I do. I remember YouTube 4 or 5 years ago when I started going down those rabbit holes, man, and watching David Weiss and whatnot,
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. And I'm still all right. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I lean more towards one thing. Okay. I'm still not convinced 100% about either. I don't think I ever will be unless I actually go up into the air and see it for myself. But what I will say is, from what I've learned the past 4 or 5 years about this stuff, brings up a lot of questions that it's like, okay, everything I was taught before was completely wrong about that. And they never seem to mention how coincidental everything else is. Right. They just stated it as like, oh, this is the way it is. Take it. We're not going to point out all the crazy stuff about it. You know what I mean? And then once you see that and you understand how crazy it is, once again, like the moon, we only see that one side of it. How that's eclipses. They never point that out that it's crazy. They only pointed out that it happens.
Well, that's the thing, is that like we don't need to figure out what is. It's just start with figuring out what isn't. That's when things start getting a little bit more like I'm not here to tell everybody like to replace the ball model. Here, let me show you something real quick. This is cool. Here's me. This is over the summer. Me and Dave Weiss.
Hell yeah! Nice, man.
I went and visited him and my buddy Alex. This was like a few months ago. I flew out to New York and yeah, I'm a big fan of him, and I get to do that. I don't know if you know this. I am the sports guy on the show, so I am on the GNN network, which is Jaronism's channel. They're doing this. They're reporting the news in like a sarcastic way, and it's him, Jaron, and Alex Stein. It's the best thing ever. They're just saying what's on the news. That's all.
Hey, send that to me later, man. I haven't seen.
I
that.
will. Oh yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find a link to the last show here. It's really cool because they're. But yeah, as far as that goes, you should have Dave on your show, man. He'll do any show, and he'll talk
Seriously,
to you.
David Weiss be on my show.
100%. I've seen him do shows with.
Well, email him for me. Email him for me. And,
info at Flatter. Well, here's the thing though. He doesn't want to go on show. Like you got to act like you are not even open. You want to act like you think it's the stupidest thing in the world. Because if you're like, hey, I agree with you, you'd be like, I don't need you to, But I
respect that to some extent, man. I respect that the man who likes to challenge. Yeah, he doesn't want the easy pitch. I like that.
And he's really good at dealing with people.
And I do have a lot of other questions. I can debate. I can debate. So
let's do this. I can.
All three of us on here or something.
Give me a question. Ask me a question. How about this? What is your best proof of the spinning ball? What is your best proof that it is spinning in space and rotating and curved?
Ain't one.
You don't have one.
Nope. Other than pictures that were allegedly taken from space of the Earth, but they're all.
They're all
digital or paintings.
CGI, Photoshop because they have to be. They have to be according to what's his name, Simmons. Not one of the. They're all composites. Admittedly, there's not one photograph. They're all.
If you take a ball, like say a little rubber ball, like a chew toy for a dog or something like that, squeaker, and you put it in the pool. And you pull it out and it's wet, and you spin it, all the water flies off.
Right, yeah.
In every direction.
Well, that's the difference between centripetal force and
maybe I'm stupid.
Force.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they've made up centripetal force, which is the opposite of centrifugal force, which is what we experience. So they keep coming up with all these scientific reasons to explain things like the umbra of the moon. Now, it's impossible. It's impossible to have something. Like say, for example, like I have a light here. So if I say like this, you can see a shadow.
I know exactly what you're saying. If you put it on there, it should just light up the one area and spread out instead of the entire face of it, right?
It's impossible for a shadow to be smaller than the thing that's creating the shadow. So what I'm saying here is you can make it the smallest the shadow of this thing could ever be is pretty much that. I mean, and so if you have an eclipse is 70 miles in diameter on our Earth. The moon is supposedly 237,000 miles away behind a sun that's 93 million miles away. For a shadow of something that is 500,000 miles in diameter and then all be condensed into 70 miles and move the wrong way on the Earth, it moves the wrong way. According to it goes from east to west while we're spinning east to west, so it should be west to east. But there's just so many things wrong with it.
I wrote this one down to ask you about. I didn't know if we get into this stuff, man. This will probably get into my third strike, but I don't care.
Don't worry about it, man. We'll make a channel. We'll keep making channels. It's all good.
But I wanted to ask you about Antarctica.
Yeah.
They don't. There's a reason. Am I wrong?
Well, here's the thing about Antarctica. You're not allowed, according to the Antarctic Treaty, below the 60th parallel south.
Me too, Shane.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Let's get some Stony going on. I know. I got some weed coming on. No, but you're not allowed below the 60th parallel south. Now, if I was to say, okay, what's the 60th parallel south? That's a longitudinal measurement, equivalent to half of Canada up, we're not allowed into. So that's a huge region of the north that we're told, and we have half of Canada, that's all of Greenland, that's all of that stuff. That equivalent on the South Pole, we're not allowed because it might disrupt up the penguins. And this is the official reason.
I know. I've heard this. Yeah.
We might throw a cigarette on the ground and the penguins will die. So,
anyway.
It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
I hate the Pittsburgh Penguins.
No, yeah,
fuck
them.
That's a whole different story. But
I agree, man. Yeah, no, That's cool. No, but like it's so stupid. The more you look into it, there's a great video by Taboo Conspiracy called "Antarctica, We Are Closed." Highly recommended. It details exactly everything you'd have to do to try to debunk and go to Antarctica. And it gets to the point where it literally says you're not allowed. If you are allowed in Antarctica, if they do permit you, you have to pick up your own poop. You're not allowed to use any motorized vehicles. You're not allowed to use a car. You're not allowed to use anything. No independent travel. They make it impossible to legally do it. And if it's just all like pure corporate nonsense, and they just find ways to make it so it's just such a
there's only certain areas and whatnot, and and I more agree with you that what you were saying earlier about we're more the center.
We are.
But there's like a theory out there that past Antarctica might be other worlds. Sure. Or other things that we don't even know about, civilizations, people, things like that.
Yeah, the Iron Republic. There was a book about that.
If you believe in that, if you believe in that model, by the way, is what I'm talking about. Not if you believe in a globe. So, anyways, I just want to make that clear.
I recommend a playlist that's actually on my channel called "What on Earth Happened." It's about 18 hours, and by the time you get done with it, dude, it's like, whew.
Shane, I want you to look up Operation High Jump. Sorry to interrupt. I want you to look up. Did you know Operation High Jump in Antarctica back during World War II, where they sent a bunch of U.S. soldiers down to Antarctica and to fight Nazi Foo Fighters, which are aka UFOs, basically. So look that up, Shane. But yeah, that's some crazy stuff. But no one wants to live there. No, hell no.
No one wants to live there.
Sorry, cut you off, man. Go ahead.
No, not at all. I keep looking at my channel like I'm losing subscribers. It makes like 0 sense. I don't understand.
Dude, you're going through exactly what I was going through, and I've talked to Shane about this all the time. Seriously, the guy.
What do I have to do to get people to like me? I don't understand.
It's not it. It's they're removing people, and I've heard other YouTubers say this, that they're unsubscribing people from your channel. They'll just take them off, and they don't even know it. They'll come back to your channel. They'll look, and it says unsubscribed. And they're like, well, I didn't do that. It's not us, man. And for the first time in about 2 years, I'm ahead on subscribers. Like I said, I was almost to a certain number, and they took me down a lot. So we just got to keep fighting the good fight, man.
Absolutely, man. No, we got to keep fighting the good fight. We know the more and more we just do this, the more and more like we're not questioning whether or not we're on the right side. At a certain point, it's just none of these tricks will work, and it starts becoming a fun game. I am 100% confident that I'm never going to be like, oh man, I was so stupid. Then I made all these people not get vaxxed, and I made a AC/DC video. I wish I would have known. Now I feel like I killed people. Like that'll never happen. That'll never fucking happen. And the more and more you kind of just do this, like you start to realize what matters in life, and it gets kind of fun. It gives your life purpose, because we all have purpose, and we all did before 2020.
Amen, bro.
And we had like a goal, and we were moving towards something. But it's okay to shift all that for the greater cause of the hive, because we're all like, I can't sit here and watch everybody just do this to themselves. It literally hurts my soul. I hate these masks.
The first time someone told me I was gonna kill my grandma for not wearing a mask, I laughed.
I know.
I laughed. And I'm not going to lie. I remember that first week when supermarkets started. The first time I went into a supermarket where they required masks, it was the weirdest. I don't know if you remember, but it was the weirdest situation ever, man.
I hated it.
Everyone felt like literally like the zombie apocalypse. And now we're used to it. You know what I mean? But also at that time, everyone was in the highest fear mode as well. And they had all these stickers on the floor saying, go this way down an aisle. Like that's going to do anything to help anyone.
Oh, I know. That's how it was in Canada too. Yeah. We had the aisle stuff. That's right. I think we all forgot how ridiculous shit was like a year ago. We completely forgot that. And that's why this is working. Like, I've tried to find like comparative news from 2020 and 2021, and it's not allowed in the search on YouTube. If I say news 2020, 2021 compare, guess what happens? No results.
Yeah.
Really? And so it's hard to find things like that destroy their narrative and pointing out how ridiculous it is. There is a new documentary that came out called COVID Land
Oh yeah, I plan on buying that. I plan on buying that very soon. Probably this weekend when I get paid.
Dude, I watched like the first 10 minutes and I'm like, oh yeah, it was ridiculous. Why are we still going along with it? Oh yeah, nobody was out of their house
for just 2 weeks.
Dude, I know, and yeah, you know, that was I didn't know if people were gonna get that because I've been like saying 2 weeks to all my friends forever. They're like, hey, just do this. I'm like, sure, just 2 more weeks, right? And 2 more weeks. It's so stupid. Here, check this out real quick, man. While you're talking about the moon, I think you might.
Hey, you talk. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. And
go ahead, man.
You talk about this for a minute, and I'll be right.
I'm gonna play some gravy for sure. All right.
Image. What is important is its composite nature. The image we witness here is a combination of at least 2 fixed images that are superimposed upon one another. The first image we are seeing, as Sturgios's groundbreaking work has shown over and over again, is a skeletal outline of our realm's land masses, akin to an X-ray, and in a way we have never seen before. In this image, we see all the continents of land we associate with Earth, or what is more appropriately termed the known world, represented by the dark areas in the image. And we also see vast bodies of land and continents that we are completely unfamiliar with. Sturgios revealed that if you treat the moon as the mirror image it is, and flip its image like you would with any reflection, then you can start to map our known land masses with utmost precision. And this is exactly what Sturgios has done, mapping the known world captured in the moon down to its Great Lakes and deserts. The striking similarities between our known world landmass and that captured on the moon are far too exact for it to be any kind of coincidence. It has been right in front of our faces every single day, literally. It is likely that no one has connected the dots here before because of this particular unknown landmass, which Sturgios has appropriately named Lumeria. And this landmass is very important because we know that it does not exist anymore. Theories of Lumeria's existence as a lost continent have been around since the 19th century, with most plotting its location somewhere around the Indian Ocean. Those in the 19th century also spoke of another lost continent called Mu. They are one and the same thing. Old maps of Mu plot the land exactly where it is on the moon. And in 2007, Masaki Kimura discovered huge structures, including pyramids, castles, and roads on the ocean floor, some way from Japan.
So, what's going on there is at some point in history, somebody, the moon, and this is huge gravy, and I'm going to put the link to this huge gravy, dude. I am going to put the link to this playlist that I got from David Weiss. Holy shit, where is the
why did I echo on that?
My bad. It's my bad.
Oh, okay.
I have to do that when I share audio, so thank you. Sorry about that. Good looking now. But yeah, I'm sharing this. I'm gonna get this link. I'm gonna put it in our private chat. Maybe you can, I don't know what you can do with that. But this playlist will, it's pretty much everything, dude. You watch this.
Can you put it just in the regular chat? Or you can't?
I can. Yeah, I'll put it right here.
Put whatever you want in the chat, man. It ain't no.
There it is. I just put it in the chat.
We're still in the Wild West, bro. We can do whatever we want here.
I didn't know I could do that.
That's what we've been doing.
So I went to your the other one. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, Shane. Hell yeah, Shane. This guy's tight.
Hey, Shane knows his shit, man. Shane knows his shit.
Man. So what are we gonna do, man? We gotta. Well, what's the next plan for Hofcast? I know this is your show, but I'm gonna interview a little bit.
Dude, I've got a few projects I was working on, but right now I'm just kind of playing it by ear, to be honest with you.
That's the smartest way to go.
I want to. My real plan is right now, connect with more people and have more discussions and because like I said, my old channel, I used to go by Hoff Solo because I just, I felt like I was on my own. I kind of felt, Han Solo he's my favorite Star Wars character. And I kind of just went with that. and I was like, maybe I should just stay. Just one man again, because I used to get a lot of people on, and these people actually started to ruin my channel, and that's why I quit for a long time.
You gotta be careful.
I was talking
how
to
much
the wrong
you bring in.
people, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I'm in a better place now, and the things that I'm talking about, the people who are like-minded like me, are definitely good people for the most part.
Don't give away
you know,
too much
especially
of what you do though. Like it's important to like be comfortable with what you got solo, like handle as much as you can, and bring people in. As soon as you start saying, all right, now I'm going to have you join me. And then all of a sudden, like now you're relying on something too much. And it can get a little weird.
I agree. I'm just saying I would like to have more discussions like this and live streams where
Sure.
it's not just me.
You're great
myself,
though, man. You
know?
got a great thing. I would say just get rid of that light behind you, because I think that's kind of.
I can do it right now.
Oh yeah, that you don't want lights behind you. You want them in front of you. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is gonna look better.
Now you're gonna see all the imperfections on my face. So.
Oh no. There we go.
See,
Yeah, that's
now it's
great.
just like
That's way better, dude. Yeah,
that's
where
better.
it's at. Oh,
I feel like
yeah.
it's depressing now.
No, we're seeing your face. But if you ever want any tips, if you ever want any tips on on how to like get your camera and to make it look like that, I think it looks better. Yeah, you want the back. I mean, I use a green screen, but you want everything dark behind you and all the light.
Let me try this and see if it's too dark.
No, that's good so far. Ooh, that's bright. Yeah.
What about that? What about
I would cover that bad boy. If you sit in front of it, get in front of that bad boy.
I can't get there.
There you go. That looks good. That's pretty good. Yeah. Your resolution's much better now. I like it. Right, that's good. Yeah, I've obsessed over I've sat here going all well, what if I change this? Like, what if I change it? I've sat here for just days, just going let me, that's a good example. Like, this is what I do. This is what I do all day. Like, this is how long it takes for me to figure out my shit. So I'll go to okay, color correction. Should I do this? Is that good?
Can you do Blinded by the Light, Man from Man? That shit. Blinded by the light. Real up like a dude. I don't know. Those are another one of those Pearl Jam kind of. Yeah. There we go. I was gonna ask you to play some music tonight.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I don't know that song very well, but I could definitely play a tune, man. Absolutely.
I would like to keep rolling with this. We're having a good roll, but towards the end, man. Sure. I definitely want to have you play a couple songs. I don't know how long you can stay. You're only gonna stay as long as you want.
I could probably do about 20 more minutes if that's all right.
All right, that's cool.
Is that cool? Maybe a half hour?
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you for being here this long, man. We'll do the last 10 minutes. We'll do maybe 10 minutes of conversation. Last 10 minutes, I'll let you just play whatever you want.
I like that. Yeah.
Really, these last 10 minutes, I have a lot of questions more about you, man. More about you, because I would a big reason I wanted to have you on is to learn more about you, and I just want to know what your musical upbringing was. Are you did your family bring you up? How did you learn your instruments? What kind of your inspirations were and everything?
Okay, yeah. Before I became a truther, I dedicated, if not more, just all of my energy towards music. I'm self-taught. I learned guitar when I was middle school. I figured out piano through high school. Then I just kept learning instruments, and they kind of got easier. I was in some bands. One called Long Beach Unified was my first, first one. But then I did a solo project, Mr. Crumb, and that's kind of my baby right there. That was kind of it took 5 years to make that album, and I'm playing everything on there. And then I started a band called Jelly of the Month Club with a couple of the guys from Sublime, actually, who were becoming parents, and they wanted to have music for the kids. I was younger, but a lot of these guys that were in Sublime, the drummer and the sax player, they wanted to do a project. So I'm a Long Beach.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a Long Beach musician.
I'm a Sublime fan, man.
Are you? Yeah, me too. Yeah. I've been
Who doesn't like Sublime? Seriously, like they're one of the funnest bands of all time, dude.
I know. Well, being in Long Beach, it's kind of thrown in your face. Like, everybody here is obsessed with Sublime, so but it's cool. But yeah, for the most part, music always came really easy to me, and I just been obsessed with it forever. And I've kind of isolated myself because I felt like I didn't need anything else besides music. Not in like a public way. I wasn't ever like, hey, look what I can do. Like, if anything, I was the opposite. Everybody I knew would be like, why don't you posting more stuff? I'm like, because I don't do music for other people. I never really
Shane's asking right now, are you solo or in a band right now? Yeah,
right now I'm solo. I have an album I put out on Spotify, Mr. Crumb Fun with Venison.
Look it up, Shane. Look it up.
Yeah, check it out. I on my YouTube, there's a link to it, and so yeah, I just been like somebody that I'm obsessed with music. I think it's the whole point.
What was the first band you got into, man? Like that you really were like really inspired you to or like the one that inspired you to become like a musician or whatever, that you were like, I want to do that, because that's how
I mean. It was like
I'm
Green
a musician
Day
too. But
Green Day, like back when, like in 6th grade, all I wanted to do was learn enough guitar to play like When I Come Around, and
I'm not gonna lie, man. Same.
Yeah,
same.
Yeah, no, it became like
Green Day and ACDC. Dude, my first email address was GreenDay_ACDC at Yahoo.
That's badass.
Seriously, that was my first email address of all time.
Yeah, no, and we all had like our patches in our backpack then. It was really important to let people know who you liked, you know. And so I started something basic, and then I just kept growing. I'm like, well, I want to learn more. I want to learn more. I want to learn more. And then I ended up like learning how to play like the musical saw and stuff, like weird shit.
Yeah, one of your first videos, you're doing Christmas song, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that was just on my channel. This is my backup channel that my Crumb one is.
Yeah, I just noticed it was older, so I didn't.
It was old as fuck, but like, I basically started another channel after that, and then it was literally taken down like a few months ago. So when Brian from High Impact Flicks, he like, get this guy some subscribers. It was like AC/DC, and 6 years ago, me and fucking playing the songs. So it's kind of a weird contrast, but because I forgot that like, I'm gonna make a music channel, and so it was just weird how like everything I've done in the last 8 years is gone because I talked about V stuff. And then it's like, well, all right, I have that one Saw video from the beginning, you know.
Shane says he says he always thought it would be badass to be a good musician. Well, you're in your 20s, bud. You can still do it, man.
It's never
I can teach
too
you a little
late.
guitar. I can teach you a little guitar.
And here's the best part is that like, unless you're trying to be like make money and like go along with the system, like everybody can have a relationship with music at any time.
Exactly.
And it's not about like, oh, I'm in my 30s and I'll never make it now. Who gives a shit? I never wanted to make it. I didn't realize I didn't want to make it until like the last few years. I subconsciously like
same, man, because I saw how much you're owned and how much you have no freedom to write what you want.
Exactly.
You can write the best song to you in the world. If your label don't like that, don't want to put it on your CD, guess what ain't going on there? Ain't going to get released, you know?
No, they're not going to take any of that.
And you can't release it outside of that or else they'll sue you, you know?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's the whole Babylon, the whole thing about it just seems weird. And now seeing all these musicians like not saying anything, it's so pathetic.
Have you listened to Tom McDonald at all?
Yes, I'm a big fan.
This is the shirt and hat I ordered his CDs, man.
Dude, have you heard my mashup that I made of Thunderstruck mixed with Brainwashed?
I have to hear that. Oh my gosh. Can you put it up?
I will put it up right now. Yeah.
Awesome.
Here, let me find this bad boy.
Two of my favorite songs.
It's I did it on a stream, and then I got a copyright strike because I used his song. It wasn't and so I thought I couldn't put it on YouTube. So let's see, Brainstruck.
Wait a minute, you're gonna get me a strike now, right?
No,
Put the link up. I'll watch it later.
You won't get you won't get a strike. It'll just say copyright. You can't like monetize, and I don't know if you're trying to monetize.
No, I'm not trying to monetize, dude.
Exactly.
I've said that on my streams a million times that I'm not here for popularity or money. I'm here to talk. Even and I know I'm not going to get either. You know, I'm just here to talk. So
yeah, even if I could, I don't want to. You know, like I wouldn't want.
You don't want that gold play button on your wall?
Yeah, I know, right? Let's see if I can find this thing. Brain shoot, where is I'm trying to find things on these things. All right, so I know it's on my video here. Let's see. This is actually pretty cool. I spent like a whole day with this, and then I don't know why I do like work all day on some stuff, and then I just never let anybody hear it. I don't know what my problem is. It's just kind of like the bane of my existence.
I got the autographed ones.
Let's see.
Pretty tight right there.
There we go. Can you hear that?
It's a little low.
What about that?
Now I can hear it. Yes.
All right.
I can also hear myself, so I'll shut up.
Oh yeah, you might have to do that. Sorry.
Half the country fell asleep, but they scream woke. We're distracted by vaccines and TV shows, politics, celebrity, gossip, popular neat quotes. Black lives, white lives, which lives mean most? We only dedicate what they to remember our fallen soldiers, the men and women who died young. But if you come out the closet as Caitlyn Jenner, you're a hero and you get a whole 5 months. The most dangerous pandemic's propaganda from these clowns. Only mask is gonna save us is duct tape on their mouths. Don't speak. We don't need to deform police, need to deform the media who lies through their teeth like Big Pharma doesn't cure you, dog. Cause every patient that gets cured is a customer lost. And big oil runs the world. The only wars that get fought are with the countries who have natural resources they want. Heard him claiming if a white man braids his hair and likes rap, he's appropriating culture. But if a white man acts too white, he's white trash. He's a racist, he's a bigot, he's a monster. Let's just have the conversation. Not every liberal is dumb, not all Republicans are racist. The government wants everybody fighting with their neighbors because they know that if we get along, we'll probably go against them. They can't stop us, cause we're ready to fight. Try to brainwash us, but we won't let freedom die. The whole world's waiting on us. Everybody making peace out right in the street. The whole world's waiting on us. Nothing against them, it ain't you against me. How did monkeys become people and people turn into sheep? They put fluoride in the water that's keeping us all asleep. Claim they want us best for us, I find it hard to believe. Cause they've been selling us cigarettes since we was 18. Fake news, fake woke, distract and divide. You're either right or you're left, or you're black or you're white. Big tech don't need a microchip to hack in your life. Cause the phone inside your pocket is a tracking device. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But Joe Biden looking like he needs 100 Xanax, but then all this censoring the president and kicking him off Twitter is a bigger threat to freedom than foreign ballistic missiles. You don't trust the police and the government, but you want people giving up the right to own a firearm. Why would you be comfortable with the police and the government, the only people on the planet with the right to buy a gun? White privilege getting amplified to reinforce division. It convinces white people that they're favored by their skin, and black people getting angry because they're told to treat the difference over conflict between us and never with the system. Let's just have a conversation. Not every liberal is dumb, not all Republicans are racist. The government wants everybody fighting with their neighbors because they know that if we get along, we'll probably go against them. They can't stop us, cause we're ready to fight. Try to brainwash us, but we won't let freedom die. The whole world's waiting on. Everybody making peace out right in the street. The whole world's waiting on. Nothing against them, it ain't you against me. Step 1, train the people only to consume. Step 2, infiltrate adults with the news. Step 3, indoctrinate the children through the schools and the music and the apps on the phones that they use. Step 4, separate the right from the left. Step 5, separate the white from the black. Step 6, separate the rich from the poor. Use religion and equality to separate them more. Step 7, fabricate a problem, made a lie. Step 8, put it on the news every night. Step 9, when people start to fight and divide, take control. This is called situational design. They can't stop us, cause we're ready to fight. Trying to brainwash us, but we won't let freedom die. The whole world's waiting on. Everybody making teams on the right in the street.
Our world's brainwashed.
All right, let me transition out of that.
You threw that scream in there. I love it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Dude, that
right?
was amazing. I need
Thanks,
that.
man.
I need that. Please, if you
You're
can
not the
send that
first
to me
person.
somehow. Yeah.
You're not the first person to tell me. I need to put that up on SoundCloud. Yeah, it's a good little mix. I had to make one of them really slow and one of them really fast. The BPMs were like not even close, but I thought his brainwashed video did so good. Like it got like 3 million views in like 6 days. So I was really stoked when that happened.
He's an independent artist, man. That's why I support him. You know, I think that's
100%, man. Yeah. All right. Hell yeah. Sorry if I don't know if I get a little like I'm pretty ADD'd out, so I might have like taken the conversation. I don't know if we got to everything you wanted to ask me about.
No, we did not even get close to talking about everything that I wanted to talk about, but we had an amazing show.
Let's do it again.
I would love to do it again sometime, man. I'll let you go. Before you go, I just wanted to say thank you so much for doing this, man. I like I said before, as soon as I saw that AC/DC video, I was like, this guy is the shit, dude. This guy gets it. He's a great musician.
Oh, man.
And I can't believe that talking to you with like-minded people like this, it's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. Before we go, I want to let you promote anything that you have right now, put any links in the chat, anything that you want to do to get people to follow you more and find you on the
I would just say, like, please join my YouTube channel. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. It's YouTube. Oh, it's just Crumb Life, or you can I'll put the link right there. Crumb Life. And I'm just kind of figuring this stuff as I go, man. So, like, you know, who knows?
Same here, yeah.
I'm not trying.
We're getting old, bro. We're getting old. We're trying to keep up.
It's not even that. Like, the whole world changes so much that I'm not even trying to, like, I don't have a standard, because if I did, I would go insane. I love doing stuff like with you, you know, like, I like keeping things on this lower level. I get really afraid. Like when Alex Jones played my shit, like I was like kind of pissed.
I wanted to get into that a little bit too.
Well, he didn't ask me, and he did.
I would not be talking to you right now if I hadn't seen that on his show. So,
right. No, I'm
free
stoked.
Publicity, you know. Even though no credit, free publicity. I still found you because I looked it up on YouTube, man. So, I mean,
100%.
They should have replied at least. You know, should have at least.
Well, the
replied.
problem is I did such a bad job putting it out there that like all these other people took credit for it. So I think they credited some other guy who just mirrored it. I'm like, yeah, but it's my face. It's me. I did this.
And by the way, I saw the 2 links on YouTube. I put the one up that was from your channel, not the other one. Of course.
Well, the Grand Central Station, that is me, but there's other ones.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That is me. That's
that
one. I put that up as I'm trying as like a place to just put good, solid things that I won't be doing live streams on, you know, and like, but you know, I also thought I would be anonymous, like, because I was a little afraid then about what would happen and you know with what's going on, but I realized right away that was a ridiculous thing to think. Like right when I saw High Impact Flicks be like, "Who is this guy?" and then someone in the chat's like, "Oh, that's Crumb. I've seen him on this show." And then they just like, "Oh, it's impossible to be anonymous, especially if I'm putting my face on shit." Like, I mean, duh. But I was a little scared, I guess, at the beginning because I was like, "Oh, maybe I don't want to be the face of anything." And
well, man, hey, this is happening in real time right now between me and you and what we're doing and what we're talking about. This is what we're doing it, man. We're taking actions. We're taking steps. We're actually talking. And I would love to do this again soon. Whenever you want, man. Just you can get a hold of me anytime. Let me know.
Sure.
Can I ask you one last request before you go?
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
Could you, because I wanted you to play more music through this, could you play us a song? And you can honestly play whatever you want, but I do have a request. If you have time for 2, that would be awesome. One of your requests, and I would like to end on What a Wonderful World, if you can do that.
You got it, yeah.
Thanks, man, because I love that, dude. And if that's your thing, I don't want to steal it, but I love ending on that, man.
That's exactly the perfect request. It's my favorite song of all time. I think it sums up how beautiful humanity is more than anything. I would like to play a song. I can either play I'm gonna play a song called How Beautiful the World Could Be. This is one I wrote recently, and this
it's an original.
It's an original, yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby, yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna mute me and give you the floor. Let's do these songs, and then we'll head out. All right, bud?
All right, you got it. Long before the final war, we fell in love and wanted more. We built 1,000,000 mezzanines. We lived a life beyond our means. The boys and girls filled the world with gold and silver lining pearls. Occasionally they plant a seed and let it grow into a tree. Then families from everywhere were broken and beyond repair. They shouted at their pocket screens and hid their lips and nose and teeth. The chosen ones who traveled on and said goodbye to Babylon were given brand new eyes to see how beautiful this world could be. Then kings then claimed the end was near. Man's faith was then replaced by fear. The meek had lost their tempered ways. The shepherds led their sheep astray, yet few refused to hide their face. They'd smile and sing Amazing Grace, and only use their eyes to see how beautiful this world could be. How beautiful the world can be, yeah. How beautiful the world can be. Then just before the New World Order failed like every time before, we built 1,000,000 families. We lived a life of love and peace. Then all the spells that came from Sodom were broken now and long forgotten. And everyone had eyes to see how beautiful this world could be. How beautiful the world can be. How beautiful the world can be. Oh, I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, the colors on the rainbow are so pretty in the sky. They're also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They learn much more than I'll know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Ooh, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. I actually remember that first song.
Yeah.
Because the melody reminded me of like there's little melodies in Zelda when you walk into the fairy fountain.
Oh, you're talking about, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, I know it. That's exactly what I was going for. It's crazy. You said
yes.
That's
yes.
so weird.
We are kindred spirits. Yes.
That's so weird that you picked that up. That's so weird.
Played a lot of Zelda in my day, but
I'm a big
beautiful.
Zelda
Thank
fan.
you.
Thank
you so much for that, man, for those performances. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for being you, man. Thank you for being true to yourself and being one of us. Thank you for taking the time, being uncomfortable. One of us. No, I know, but like, thank you for being somebody who recognizes this and knowing where to point energy in the right way and being true to that, because, you know, we're all scared, and just you at one point had to be like, I don't give a fuck. And
this.
And
yeah, exactly,
that means that you're my brother forever, man. I appreciate
absolutely,
that.
man.
I got your back no matter what.
Bro, that's what it's all about right now. Please check out Crumb, go to his channel, follow his music. I hope to have you back on again, hopefully
absolutely,
soon.
Man.
Hopefully do more of this kind of thing, because I loved it. I will now let you go because I held you over too long, and I loved those performances. Though they were absolutely amazing.
Right
so
on,
anything else you'd like to say before we go?
I just want to say, like, you are the man, and I know for a fact that your channel is about to blow up. Not because of me or anything, but like just based off of
third strike, one or the other. But
don't worry, you're gonna. I see it in you, man. I recognize greatness right away. You're gonna be
same, dude. Yeah. And not only are you just like a very smart, intelligent person, not to suck a lot of dick here, kiss a lot of ass, but that comes through in your music, obviously. I'm not saying you have to be a genius to play music, but when you can just play a piano like that without thinking, it's just like. I
appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, no, it is fun. It takes a lot of practice, though. I mean, like,
oh, I know. I play guitar, and I'll talk to you more about that on another day. I'm a musician myself. I won't go into any of that because I'm gonna let you go. But just that practice, and also the way the brain works of a musician, I think works a little bit differently. Just because you study things, and I think that's all a part of it. But I'll let you go, man. If you got anything left, I'm gonna shut up. I'm just gonna do my outro after you talk.
I'm just going to say thank you for having me, man. I can't wait to do this again, and I can't wait to see how much you grow, because I'm 100% confident that you're going to be doing a lot of the Lord's work or our creator's work, and I don't know. It's really cool. Thanks for having me, man.
Same to you, man. You're going to blow up too, bud. So thank you all for watching tonight. I also wanted to say before I go, I apologize. Normally I have some more regulars in the chat than I did tonight. But this will stay up, and there will be a lot of viewers after this. I think it's going to be a highly viewed stream, to be honest with you, compared to a lot of them on my own, where I didn't think it went half as well as this.
Well, think about it like, okay, you don't need to have a lot of people in the live stream, but like you were recording an interview, so it's cool. You know, like, yeah, people will watch it.
But I mean, I think this is gonna be this will be one I want to look back on and watch myself, man. Not because of me, but because I just think it's such a good, fun conversation.
Well, let's do a at very least. Worst case scenario, let's do this again in a few weeks or a month or so, and see where we're at for sure.
Absolutely, man. That sounds great.
At the very least, yeah.
Thank you again for being here. Thank you anyone who watched, Shane, for being in the chat. Any future viewers, make sure you subscribe to this guy and you watch his stuff and watch his live streams. When do you have a schedule for those?
Oh, every Sunday, 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, I will be doing live streams and
every Sunday.
Yeah, every Sunday, and I'll be doing one either Wednesday or Thursday every week. I haven't picked which day, but I'm gonna start doing 2 a week soon here. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to them. So, and awesome. You all should be too. Great show. Thanks for watching. Hoff, sign off.
Right on, brother.